Magic players, this is Andatesh Gordo, and today I'm going to be doing another video on spoilers for Ixalan, and I'm going to be covering September 4th and September 2nd, I think it's 2nd, yep, spoiler reviews. So, let's get right into it. The first one is Drover of the Mighty, 2 mana for a 1/1. It does tap for mana of any color, and then it gets +2/+2 as long as you control at least a dinosaur. That's a pretty good card. It's a pretty strong beat stick on top of being a mana producer. Of course, standard nowadays are going to 2 mana producers instead of one mana costing producers. Well, instead of Lawn War Elves, it's kind of cards like this. So it's okay. It's actually pretty good. It beefs itself up, so it's a 2 mana 3/3. If you throw it in a dinosaur deck, it's kind of a ramp. Would it be played in Modern? I don't know. I'd probably rather play Lawn War Elves in this spot, or maybe Heritage Druid, stuff like that. But yeah, so the next one is Siren Storm Tamer. 1 blue for a 1/1 flyer, and then you pay a blue, sacrifice it, and you counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. So this card is similar to Curse Catcher, not Stature, whatever it said, and Judge is Familiar. Well as Muslim Wander, but those main two it's a really good card. So it's a flying, like Judge is Familiar, but you have to pay a blue to sacrifice. But you counter a target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. So if it's an enchantment targeting you, you can counter it. If it's an artifact targeting you, I think that it's when it enters the battlefield. Actually, enchantments and artifacts, you have to counter the ability. Too bad it didn't say. Oh, it says ability, so that's probably trigger. I don't know, but yeah, it's not bad of a card. Modern is probably where it'll be played. Standard is where it'll be played. Maybe Modern. So, they also brought back Lightning Strike, 2 mana, 1 in red for 3 damage to a creature or player. So it's just a 2 mana costing Lightning Bolt. Then just a Heatwater Sentries, 4 mana, 2/5 Merfolk. It's limited card. Not that exciting. So the next one is Shapers of Nature, 3 mana for 3/3. 4 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then you pay 3 to remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature. Would this be played in Standard? Maybe. If there's a really good viable deck that actually can produce a good amount of mana and utilize +1/+1 counters, sure. It's probably will shine more in all the blue-green, or any color, or any commander deck that sports blue-green and deals with +1/+1 counters. So that's where that'll shine. Okay, so here's another one of those flip artifacts, which is kind of cool. I've been liking these flip artifacts, especially the land art. So you 4 mana artifact, instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less. Whenever you cast one of them, you put a charge counter. Then if there are 4 more, you may remove them and then transform it or flip it. You just add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Whenever the mana is spent to cast an instant sorcery spell, copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So right off, Commander will just love this card, especially turning it into a land. There's times where you really need the mana, and yeah, this is a good one for it. Standard, it may be played. Modern, someone will probably play a little trick card around it. But man, just a copy. Storm decks, it is too high costed for Storm decks though. However, maybe turn 2. No, it'd be turn 3. You could get this out and then storm off on turn 4, which you'd be able to copy some spells when you tap the mana that's produced from this artifact, or the land that it transforms into. You can start copying a spell or 2. Maybe get an extra mana, but I don't see that being Modern. It's just too high costed. So this one I have to come over here to read it. For 4 mana for a 2/2, enters the battlefield. You may search the library for equipment or a vehicle and put it into your hand, and if you do, shuffle your library. Well, that one's an interesting. It's basically a uncommon blue version of Stoneforge Mystic without the upside, but it also searches for vehicles. There's going to be some new cards probably starting to search for vehicles and equipment, which makes sense. Did that again. So we'll see how that one works out. But Commander, it'll be loved. Commander, it'll be loved. If there's like a blue-white equipment deck, Commander decks are going to love it. Standard, maybe. Maybe it might be Ran, maybe Modern. Depends on the vehicles that are, you know, present and whatever new good vehicles we get from this set. Then Awakening Sun's Avatar, a 8 mana 7/7, enters the battlefield. If you cast it from your hand, destroy all non-dinosaur creatures. So it's kind of like Reaver Demon, but Reaver Demon targets a non-black, non-artifact. So yeah, it's pretty good. I actually like it. So the next one is an interesting planeswalker for the most part. Huatli Warrior Poet, 5 mana for 3 loyalty. You pay +2 to gain life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Unfortunately, nice thing is you still plus it, but you just don't gain life if you don't have any creatures out. Zero it to create a 3/3 green dinosaur. It's a red-white. It's a red-white planeswalker that produces green creatures. So that's, I think, the first token creating planeswalker that actually chooses a different color than its own. Even though I could even see this being a Naya colors as a planeswalker, so another like 3-color planeswalker would have been nice. And then you -X to deal X damage divided as you choose to any number of target creatures, and if they're dealt damage, they can't block this turn. So it kind of prevents it. So it's kind of an interesting planeswalker. Is it the greatest? Well, I know it's better than the this one here, because this one just always targets dinosaurs. So they both be good in a dinosaur planeswalker deck, hands down. I would still suggest playing both, but there's still probably some better options over the Dinosaur Knight versus the Warrior Poet, but we'll see how that works out. Some people may choose both. Some may just choose the Warrior Poet and a few other random other planeswalkers that don't support dinosaurs. But then again, we don't know what else will come out of, you know, we've only seen 2 planeswalkers from this set. So 4 mana for Ixalan's Binding. When it enters battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until it leaves, of course. And then, so it's kind of an exile enchantment, kind of like Oblivion Ring, but it also prevents them to cast spells of the same name. So just that 1 extra mana, is it worth it? It maybe if it had flash, but at the end, probably not. And then we got a different version of Relic of Progenesis. Sorry about that noise. Sorry about that noise. Yeah, it's a new version of Relic Progenesis. Enters the battlefield, you scry 1. It doesn't draw like Relic. I think Relic is still better because you get an extra tap clause to exile a card. And then you tap to exile this and exile all our cards from all graveyards. So yeah, that is Sentinel Totem. It's a cool art, it's a cool design. It's just another Relic of Progenesis, and Relic is still probably by far better. So these are the September 4th and 2nd spoilers. So I'm going to refresh to see if we get a random another one. Nope. Okay. All right. Well, again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Let me know what you guys like about these cards. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day. And again, thanks for watching.